Now we see where the control really is. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about New York City possibly ending their vaccine mandate within the next few weeks, maybe next month. I'm not really sure when they may end it, but I believe that it's going to come to an end very soon here. And the question is why? Why are they going to end it? Why are they going to end this thing that they fired a bunch of employees over? Because remember, just recently, they fired like 1,500 or so city employees for being unvaccinated. So why are they going to end the vaccine mandate for these indoor spaces? Now, I'm not quite sure about the employment, but if you're going to end the vaccine mandate for indoor spaces, why not also end it for city workers? That makes sense, right? Now, before we get into it, let's back up a little bit. The entire nation is starting to move on from this, okay? Even California, they're starting to move on from the mask and the vax and all these quote unquote requirements, which are really mandates. They're moving on from it. And the question is why? Well, they'll tell you it's because of the science, right? The quote unquote science. The science has changed. First, the science says, don't wear a mask. Then the science says, do wear a mask. Then the science says the masks don't work. The masks might work, it might not work. Who knows? The science is all over the place, right? But they want to cite the science. Okay, fair enough, whatever. Whatever the science is today, they're going to cite that for ending the vaccine mandates and the mask mandates. But what's the real reason? The real reason is because it's so much money being lost. Okay, that's the long and short, the bottom line, the nitty gritty, the brass tacks. Money is being lost. Remember when Ed Bastian, the CEO of Delta, wrote a letter to the federales saying, hey, check it out. You guys have this rule or guidance that says if an employee tests positive for the bug, they got to quarantine for 10 days. You're killing our industry because we can't staff these airplanes, okay? We're delaying flights and canceling flights and all types of stuff because we don't have the staff. 10 days is too long, so check it out. What I need y'all to do is reduce that 10 days to 5 days. And as soon as the letter was published, as soon as we all heard about it, they cut the quarantine time from 10 days to 5 days. It was almost like the government responded to the money, to the big money guys. It's almost like they matter more than the so-called science, more than the so-called safety, right? That's what it appears like to me. And I think it's the same thing in New York City. Shout out to Kyrie Irving. Hey man, I'm gonna give you your flowers while you're here. Oh, it's a bouquet of flowers right there. My phone is a bouquet of flowers. I'm giving you flowers while you're right here, sir, because you and other guys like Jonathan Isaac, shout out to you, boss, Bradley Beal, a bunch of unvaccinated NBA players, I believe, are a big reason why New York City is ending their vax mandate. Maybe it's because everybody else is doing it, California, et cetera, they're doing it, maybe. But I think the basketball players are the true reason why. And specifically, in this case, it's Kyrie Irving. Now, remember, Kyrie Irving plays for the Brooklyn Nets, and he's unvaccinated. He was very vocal about it, says, I'm not really trying to get that. That's my personal decision. It's not really political. That's just how I feel. And that's what it is. And he stood on that. There was all kind of pressure on his back, man. You got to do what's right. What did Shaq say, man? You got to do what's right for the team, man. If I was a teammate, I'd put hands on him. Even though all of that was said about Kyrie, you're selfish, you don't want to do the right thing, get the vaccine for your teammates. He was like, nope, it's not even about nobody else. I'm not trying to attack anybody. I'm not trying to do anything like that. This is just my decision, my medical decision for myself. That's what it's going to be. That's what it is. He lost a lot of money because he's not able to play a bunch of games. Like, he wasn't sitting out and getting paid to sit out. He was sitting out and not playing. And then they let him play just on the road. And now they're going to let him play on road games and at home because they're going to lift that indoor vax mandate very soon, just in time for the NBA playoffs coming up. The wording was funny when they're talking about ending the indoor vax mandate. They're talking about, the next few weeks. So right before April, right before the NBA playoffs kick off, that's very convenient. That's very suspicious, but it makes sense. I mean, think about it. The Barclays Center, you're talking about how many rounds? Several rounds of NBA playoffs, 7 games each potentially, with 3 or 4 of those in Barclays Center, big money tickets. I mean, come on. It just makes sense to go ahead and just end the mandate because money's on the line. That's the reason why California did it. Okay, California, they had Stagecoach and what else? I know it was Stagecoach and something else, some other kind of concert. I did a video about that. Okay, Woodstock or whatever it is, they got those concerts out there. Those are big money. Lollapalooza, all these places, they got to make this big money, right? And also, the vaccine mandate makes no sense in New York City because let's go back to Kyrie Irving in the Barclays Center. Now, the rule states that if you are a Brooklyn Nets player and you're unvaccinated, you can't play at home because you don't have the bug and you're not cooperating with the indoor vax mandate. However, if you are, let's say, Jonathan Isaac playing for the Orlando Magic or Bradley Beal playing for Washington Wizards, if you get on a plane and travel to Brooklyn and play in the Barclays against the Brooklyn Nets, you could be unvaccinated. It's fine. There's no problem. You are not going to be barred from that particular arena. How does that make sense? How can the away team just say, all right, I'm not going to abide by the vaccine mandate, but the home team guys have to abide by the vax mandate? You're going to be in the same place, playing each other and the same crowd and the same venue. How does this make sense? It doesn't make sense. None of it makes any sense, okay? The mask mandate, same thing. The CDC came out and said that your mask that you wear, your Black Lives Matter, Paw Patrol, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dragon Ball Z, Powder Puff Girls, etc., your mask doesn't work, okay? If you got the N95, maybe that might work, but the moment you get any kind of little schmutz or dirt or water on it, it's going to be a wrap, okay? You're probably not getting it fitted properly. You're probably going to Home Depot and slapping that on your face. That's not really going to work too well, right? Your mask most likely probably does not work according to the CDC. So having the mask mandate doesn't make any sense. How does a mask mandate make sense when the masks don't work? According to the CDC, not me, because I never say nothing like that, because I trust the so-called science, quote unquote, for the YouTube censors out there. But I digress. The masks don't make sense. The vax, that doesn't really make any sense. So what are we doing? What are we doing? It's time to get back to normal. But I think the reason why the fire was put up under the new New York City Mayor Eric Adams is because of the money. The same way the fire was put up under the federales by Ed Bastian, the CEO of Delta Airlines, right? Hey, man, we can't keep these flights going, and you bail this out to the tune of billions. So if you don't want to lose the return on your investment, sir, let's go ahead and get these quarantine times knocked down in half. And they did it. Same thing with New York City. Hey, man, we put a lot of money into that Barclays Center. We put a lot of money into this economy. So check it out, man. If you want us to stay here and not go travel somewhere else, not relocate across the water or to a whole different part of the country, I need you to go ahead and rescind that vax mandate and let our star player Kyrie Irving get back on the basketball court at home, especially since the rule as it stands today does not make sense. It's punitive to home players, but not to away players. Ridiculous, dumb, go ahead and get back on track. I think that's why they're going to rescind it. And like I said, just in time for the NBA playoffs. The biggest time of the year for advertisers, fans, everything else. I watch basketball. I'm a big basketball fan, but quite frankly, I'm not going to watch full games until the playoffs when everybody watches it. Money motivates. Money is the reason why a lot of these things are happening right now. We could protest and whatnot, but when the dollar is in play, when the money is the focus, then things start to move in a serious direction. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what's happening here in New York City? Do you believe it's because of Kyrie Irving? Is it because of the so-called science? What is it about? What is the reason why New York City, which at one point was the epicenter of the virus, why are they moving on away from the vaccine mandate and whatnot? Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. You guys pretty much know where I'm at. I think money is motivating here. Same thing with Delta, same thing with Lollapalooza, Stagecoach, everything else. These big concerts, bringing in a bunch of money to the retail industry, to the hospitality industry, to the car services and everything else, the local tax base. You can't just shut down the country, not allow the economy to move and expect to stay afloat. That's not how it's going to go. You got inflation going on right now, gas going through the roof. Gas is already high. Then you have the whole Ukraine kerfuffle, and we're going to put sanctions on Ukraine, or pardon me, on Russia, which ain't going to do nothing but hurt us. We're going to do that, making it more expensive here in the United States. You got a real estate crisis going on. I saw a video of a place in North Carolina. It might have been Charlotte or Raleigh or somewhere. There was a house that was selling below $300,000. It might have been like $250,000 or $260,000. There were dozens of cars on the street. As soon as a listing opened up, for open house or whatever, dozens of cars to get one house. It's crazy right now in America. And the last thing we need are outdated, ridiculous things that never worked to get in the way of money making. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.